Hey everyone, Ray here with Rinksworks. I'm back on this 2006 Chevy Colorado. This time because it won't start. Sometimes. So what's happening is that every couple weeks or so they'll get in it, try to fire it up, and the engine will crank, but it won't fire up. And then afterwards, their pass lock light is flashing. And here's what the pass lock light looks like. So I've done a little research and I've come to realize that the 04 through the 12 Chevy Colorado, the 04 through the 12 GMC Canyon, the 06 through 10 Hummers, and 06 through 08 Isuzu Trucks all share the same system. So it could be an issue on multiple cars. But I think I figured out how we're going to fix it. And if you want to see how to fix yours, then stay tuned and we'll get started right now. All right, so first off, this is a 5-speed truck, and you'll see why that is a little bit important in a minute. What's happening is they're trying to start the truck, and it won't start. It'll just crank and crank and crank. I think it probably will start now because it's an intermittent problem. Let's just see if it starts. So it did start. See that light right there? When the truck doesn't start, that light, that one right there, starts flashing. That's your pass lock light. So basically, I think the vehicle's sensing that it's getting stolen or something. It's part of the anti-theft system, but you're stuck. You have to wait like a half an hour, and then apparently it'll start again. So we're going to go ahead and fix that because, you never know when it's going to happen, probably at an inopportune time, like when you're at a gas station in people's way. So anyway, let's take a look at the part we need to change. So the pass lock system is part of your ignition switch, the whole mechanism. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this cover off. I'll find out what size bolts it is, and then I'll let you know. Okay, so there's 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3. And what there is a T25 Torx bit. I've already taken 2 of them out, so you wouldn't have to watch, but here's the other one. And these bits are actually starting to become common in like deck screws and stuff like that. So if you have any like deck screws, boxes of deck screws, it'll probably have a T25 Torx bit. So that's what those screws look like. So it looks to me like this just separates like so. Looks like we can just do it with a screwdriver. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so here's the trick. This is the lever for lowering and raising the steering column. You got to pull this backside down here first, and then you're gonna kind of just slide it around and get it out that way. So there it is out. Okay, so here's our pass lock system right here, and it's part of the entire cylinder lock. This is where you put your key in right here. I can't find this piece just by itself. I had to buy the whole cylinder. I looked high and low. So let me show you what I got, and then all we're going to do is we're going to just change this. So if I wanted to change the whole cylinder, I could, but I have to pull the steering wheel. We got an airbag system, and I'm just not going to do that. So let's just get that part changed. All right, here's the part I did get off of Amazon. See, it's a genuine GM part. GM has a store on there. So that's the part number they say is for a 5-speed, and then there's a different part number that they say is for an automatic. I think the cylinder lock itself might be different. I have a feeling that the electronic portion is probably the same on both, but I don't know for sure. So I ordered the one for the standard, for the 5-speed. I'll put on the screen right now the part number for the one for the automatic. And I will leave links to these, and I'll also leave some links to the generic ones if you want to try that. You probably could also get this part in a junkyard. but then you're taking a risk because does it work? So let's see what it actually looks like. So there it is. There's the whole cylinder lock. But we are only going to use, I'm going to take this off and we're just going to swap that out. Again, that's so I can avoid the airbag and pulling the whole steering wheel out. So this will be easier, and I don't think there's any problems with this in the car. All right, so here's our switch. We're going to take this piece off. But before we do, I need to show you something, because if we just take those two screws out, it's not going to just come off. So let me set up a little vise so I can get some light in here and show you what we need to do. All right, so we're looking down into the cylinder. I'm holding a light. I got a screwdriver here, a big tip screwdriver, and I'm trying to look through the camera to do this. So this is the lock mechanism. So your key would go in here, and then you turn your key like this. So what we need to do, I'm going to try to do this, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. If you can watch that whole mechanism, you should be able to see it move. We need to set it right there. So this would be like turning your key on. So the key off, key on. That's the position we need to be in order for it to remove the electrical part. So I'm going to turn it back, key off, and then I'll show you guys trying to take the thing off. Okay, let me buzz these two screws out real quick. So the key, or simulated key, is in the off position. And I'll pull these two screws. And you'll see that this does not come out. I'm not going to tug on it super hard because I don't want to break it. But you heard two clicks, hopefully. I'm going to put the screwdriver in there. I'm going to go to the first click. And you'll see it still does not pull out. Now I'll go back in and go to the second click, turning it clockwise. Now that releases. So you can see how it's clocked in there. So this will be the same procedure on the car. So when we go to the car, we're going to put the key in and turn it to the on position, and then we can pull this off. So let's go do that. All right, time to put our new one in. So here's the old one here. Now there's two screws, of course. The bottom screw you can get to with a regular screwdriver. First thing, I'm going to turn the key to the on position. We're not trying to start it, just on. So I can pull this screw out. Now the top screw you can't get to with the regular screwdriver. I mean, it's at a really weird angle. It may be hard to see on camera, but I have this I can use, and I can just get on that screw and have enough clearance to spin it. But if you don't have one of these, this is, you can get this at an auto parts store, fairly cheap. But if you just need to buy something for just this job, auto parts store, a couple bucks for an angled screwdriver, and you can get to that screw like so, and it's not too hard. But I'm going to use this because it'll be quicker for video purposes. But if I just had to buy something, I'd get that angled one. So let me get this out. Hopefully I won't drop it. Might be good to have a little magnet handy, which I actually do. Let's see if I can pull this okay. And it got really windy, so I'm sorry if there's a bunch of wind noise. Okay, I got it out. Luckily I didn't drop it. Okay, now we have the key to on, so this should pull out, which it does. And then here's our electrical connector. Just push this green tab right here. Push that in, and it comes right off. And here is the new one. So I'm going to connect it electrically. You'll probably hear some noises once it plugs in. Okay. Now I can get it back in place. Now I'm going to just put that bottom screw back in first to get it held in place. Almost cross-threaded it, but I didn't. Okay. Okay, now I got that tight, I can turn the key back off. And then I will get that top screw in. Boy, that bit held in that screw good. Okay, let's set up and do a key relearn. So here's the directions on what we're going to do next. I'm putting this on the screen so you can come back and review it if you need to. But we're going to do this on the video right now. But if you need it, come back and review this. Okay, so hopefully you paid attention to those directions, but if not, I'm going to walk you through it anyway. So you do want to, hopefully your battery's got a good charge because the key's going to basically be on for 30 minutes. And lights, you want your lights off. This one, every time you turn the key on, it goes to auto. It won't stay in the off position. It springs back to auto, which is kind of stupid. So once we start it, I'll turn those lights off. But basically, we should be able to now turn the key on, and the car should not start. And as you can see, it doesn't, and the pass lock light is starting to flash. So let's start our timer, and we're going to wait for 10 minutes for that light to go off, and then turn the ignition off for 10 seconds, and then try it again. We should get the same results, and then we do that 3 times. So if you were here, we'd go inside the shop right now and have a beer and talk about football or something, but since you're not here, and you're struggling in your own driveway right now, I'll just come back in 9.5 minutes and we'll watch what happens. Oops, I missed the 10-minute mark, but as you can see, the light stopped flashing and went off. Now I'm going to shut the truck off for 10 seconds. And then we're going to turn it back on, try to start it again. Again, it shouldn't start. And it doesn't. And you see the light flashing again. Let me stop and reset that. And we'll start it. And I'll come back again in 9.5 minutes. But this time I'll really make it, I swear. Guys, I did it again. I get busy and I miss. What's going on? Okay, I swear this time I'll get it. Okay, key back off. I'm going to open the door so you can actually hear me trying to crank it. And you'll hear that it won't start again. And there's the light flashing. And you know what? I forgot to wait the 10 seconds, didn't I? I may have messed up. Let's see what happens. So we'll give it another 10. Now I might have to run it another cycle since I forgot to leave the key off for 10 seconds. Guess we'll see. I really will come back in time this time. Hey guys, look, I got back in time this time. Also, I did go back and look at the footage. It looked like I did leave the key off for about 6 seconds because I was yapping before I turned it back on. So I think we're going to be fine. Honestly, it only takes about 6 seconds anyway. The 10 seconds is a little much. But oh, there it goes. Solid light. Now it should shut off, and there it goes. So let me get this out of the way. This time, key off, it should start. So let's find out. Fired up. All right. So that's the key learn process. Let's put it back together real quick. All right, now that we're all back together, let's give it one more startup. Okay, so I am 99% sure that this is going to fix the problem for this truck, and I believe it'll fix the problem for yours as well. I am, however, going to keep this because this does have magnetics inside of here that play a part in this system. I don't believe that's a problem. I think it's an electronic module because the electronics are usually going to go first. But if apparently this problem with this truck was happening every couple of weeks, so I'll know in a couple of weeks whether this worked or not. So if it doesn't work, I will come back, modify this video. So if you get to the end of this and you don't hear that it didn't work, then it's still working. So, um, and if I have to get in and do this, I will, and I'll take the steering wheel off, the airbag, and all that, and I'll do another video and show you how to do it all. But otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope it helped you. And if it did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone.